Now, I don't know who this video is for, but I hope if it found you in the algorithm and you clicked on it and you're watching it now, I hope it's for you. What's good, everybody? Rhetorical question life. My name is Heavy Bree, and welcome to my channel. And if this is your 615th time on my channel, welcome back. Appreciate every single last one of y'all who'll be watching my videos, who'll be leaving likes, subscribing, comments, and sharing the videos. I appreciate every single last one of y'all for helping me grow in the algorithm and everything. But today I want to talk to y'all about something like that learned over the I've learned over the course of my life and have noticed in society and everything. And one of the things I want to talk about today, the thing I want to talk about today is our problems and the issues that we have in our day-to-day life, and how sometimes it's best if we just don't broadcast our problems to those around us or to the world at large. Now, I'm not saying that you should keep these problems to yourself, but I will give you a solution or some solutions that will be a better alternative than broadcasting it to everyone and their mama and everybody who you know around you. See, because when we when we well, look, we all got problems, okay? Every single last one of us has issues or something that's going on in our life that's, bringing us down and keeping us, you know, in a like a negative mindset and everything. Like we all got everybody out here in society has problems. We're all going through something. But one thing you should never do is share your problems with other people. Like you shouldn't tell your friends, your family, strangers, co-workers, or even just random people your problems. And the reason why you shouldn't do that is because, like I said before, everybody has problems. Everybody has something that they're dealing with, something that they're going through, some kind of like issue. And sometimes, if your problem to them and to others, your problem might not be as severe or like or as huge as you think it is, because like what may be a huge problem for you might be light work to somebody else, and vice versa. Someone might complain to you about their problems, and you might look at it like, it's an easy solution. It's an easy thing to solve compared to what you're going through. So you might look at them and be like, man, what is this person complaining about? He acting like he acting like a bitch right now. And sometimes if you going through something in your life that is really eating you up and bothering you, and you want to share it with your friends and your family, what they'll do is sometimes, and I don't know, like sometimes you'll get people who've been through the same issue or had the same problem, and they overcame it or they got through it, and they might have some good advice to pass down to you to help you get through this turmoil in your life. But odds are, most of the time, that's not the issue. Most of the time, people will judge you. They will kind of like look down upon you. They'll criticize you, and sometimes, and on some occasions, which happens a lot, I've seen it a lot, and I've heard this. I've been subjected to this. Is that when you tell people your problems, they often they will spread your problems, or like talk about your problems, even though you confided them one on one. They'll spread your problems around to other people in your circle, or just to be nasty, or just a gossip. They'll spread your problems to everyone in your social group, or the strangers, because some people just don't know how to keep their mouth shut and keep that stuff to themselves, because some people just like to talk. They just like to spread rumors and spread misinformation, and sometimes you'll tell them that, hey man, I think I'm having some issues, and I'm having some issues in my relationship, and somebody might tell, and then that person might tell some other people, and by the time it gets to the 15th person, that person will be like, all of a sudden now it's like, oh, like you, or it's like your girl's cheating on you, or oh, this person got STDs or something like that. Like it's the telephone game. If you guys are familiar with the telephone game, you tell somebody one thing, and then by the time it gets to the 10th person, the whole story has been changed. And instead of it being like, oh, I got a flat tire, it goes to like, it's like, oh, this person like got into a car accident, or their car got repossessed or something like that. So people won't take your problem. Because another thing, like when you have a problem and you tell other people about it, they won't like take it as seriously as you're taking it right now, because this problem could be really huge, and you could just be wanting to confide in somebody, and then that person might just like, just like I said, like not take it as lightly. They'll look at it as, especially if you're a dude, this happens a lot amongst men. Like if you're a man with dealing with some issues in your life, you are expected by society and other people to just keep that stuff to yourself, okay? And we talk about men's mental health and everything, but people still don't take it seriously, man. People don't take, like, because they feel like you should suffer in silence, because that's what their grandfathers did, that's what their fathers did, that's what's supposed to be the norm of men, is to suffer in silence. They'd rather you just keep all that to yourself and just get severely drunk, or do drugs, or like abuse or beat up your spouse, or cheat on your spouse, or like just do a bunch of like irrational stuff. And then people be like, well, why is that person like, drinking a lot? Why are they getting into fights all the time? Why is that person doing drugs? Because they can't talk about their problems. Because they talk about their problems because society has taught us as men to keep our problems to ourselves. And then it eats away at us over time, and then we do crazy stuff, So my solution to all of that is, now, like I said, you shouldn't tell people your problems, because like I said, people are going to judge you, people are going to judge you, they're not going to take it as seriously, and they're probably going to try and give you solutions when all you really needed was to someone to talk to and to confide in. You're not looking for the answers. You probably already have the answers, but you just want to share it with somebody, because holding all that in is eating away at you. So with that being said, I think that the best thing to do is to seek therapy, man. Like find like I'm not saying you should pay for a psychiatrist or go. I mean everybody needs psychiatry. Everybody needs a psychiatrist. Everybody needs therapy, and everyone needs therapy. Listen, every person needs therapy, no matter what background or thing you go through in life, because in life we all deal with some stuff, and you need someone to talk to, or something or someone to talk to, in order to sort all that stuff out, because holding in all that stuff is not healthy, and that's how people end up crashing out and having mental breakdowns and everything. So with that said, if you have problems, you should seek out people. You should seek out groups, like people who, like healthy groups, not echo chambers, but healthy groups of people who meet up once a week, who you can sit down and talk to. And you don't even gotta tell them about your problems immediately. You can just sit down with these people and kind of just share stories and get to know each other and everything. And just like veterans have this thing where, like, if you're a veteran, they have groups where veterans get together and they just talk about adjusting to civilian life, some of the things they saw while they were in the military, and it's a safe place for them to come together and talk to each other. And and everybody has that. Everybody has that. Every group has that. People, survivors of assaults, people who who've been on drugs for years and need other people to talk to, and seek advice from them and hear their stories, which will help them get through their problems. Like AA and everything. But they have like groups for everybody. They got men's groups, like men who have nobody to turn to talk to and everything. They have groups for men who come together and like just like, you know, they go to the gym, they go to like, you know, like public places, they meet up, and then sometimes they'll talk about their problems, and sometimes they'll just like, you know, just meet up and just hang out with random dudes, you know. And like they got women's groups too. They got women who like, you know, who are in domestic, who are maybe who probably weren't even in some kind of traumatic situation, but who just want to meet up and talk to each other, and you know, like, and just get to know each other. You know, making it's more than just making friends. It's just finding people who are going through what you are going through, and who are going to listen to you and talk to you and just like, you know, engage with you in a non-judgmental environment. You know, they have these groups, and you can find them on like Instagram, you can find them on TikTok, you can find them on Facebook, you can find them everywhere, man. But like, you should always do your due diligence and make sure that when you have free time, you should do your due diligence and make sure that these groups are legit and not just some echo chamber of like people just looking to like recruit people into their crazy cause, their crazy terrorist cause or something like that. Like no Project Mayhem type stuff. All right, if you know, you know. So yeah, man. But like, if you can't, and also you could just go to see a psychiatrist or see a therapist. You can get on BetterHelp. They got like BetterHelp on your phone. You can go on BetterHelp. This video is not sponsored by BetterHelp. I'm just saying, like, BetterHelp, like, you talk to like someone on the phone, somebody calls you or texts you, and you got video conversations with somebody who is a trained and licensed therapist who can help you like talk about whatever it is you're going through, and they'll basically listen to you and give you advice. And you know, the first person you link up with on BetterHelp doesn't work out, you can always like dismiss that person and find somebody else, you know. But you have to talk about your problems. You have to express yourself, but you can't express it to everyone around you, because everyone around you either A, isn't going to understand, or B, or isn't going to take it as seriously as you do, or C, they might just like, you know, like not, or worst case scenario, they might see it, they might think it's funny, and they might, like I said, spread it around to all your other friends and people in your social circle, and just like pretty much make light of it and everything. So but you should not keep it to yourself. You have to like find groups of people who go through the same stuff, who have a track record of not being judgmental, and will sit there and like, you know, talk with you about whatever problem you have. Or you can see a therapist, or you can get on BetterHelp, or you can journal. You know, what's helped me get through a lot of my problems in life, and throughout these last 10-15 years of my life, is journaling. I'm a lifelong, well, not a lifelong, but I've been journaling for like since my 20s, and journaling helps me get out a lot of negative emotions, and helps me to like get past whatever's going on in my life and everything. Because sometimes like when life is too much, I'll sit there and just write and express my whatever I'm going through, my issues, in a journal and everything. Like I got plenty of like journals and notebooks full of like just stuff talking about what's on my mind, what I thought about doing. And then sometimes I'll go back weeks later and read that and be like, damn, what the hell was I on, man? What was I going through, bro? Like I must have really been on one, you know? Because sometimes you don't need to like lash out, you don't need to complain, you don't need to like, you know, you don't need to like, you know, indulge these negative thoughts. Sometimes you just gotta find an outlet to get these things out, man. Or you can find people who've been through what you're going through, who will sit there and listen to you and actually empathize with your struggles. Or you can go to therapists or see a therapist. Or you can you know, you could like find a creative outlet, man, like, you know, music, art, poetry, like painting, sculpting, content creating, man. You know, like these things will be, you can find a creative, like artistic outlet for whatever it is you're going through, man. But one thing you must never do is, man, hold it in. Do not hold in what's going on in here, bro. Because the more you hold it in, the more, if you hold all that in, it's going to affect this, and then it's going to basically eventually just, the levee is eventually going to break, okay? Like, because like if it keeps on raining, the levee is going to break, and it's not about if it'll break, it's when it will break. So you have to find an outlet for your problems. But like, one thing you shouldn't do is don't talk about them to people who don't understand them. Find somebody or someone who is going through what you're going through, and you know, you don't even gotta tell them straight out. You could just like baby step them into it. You know, like you have to like find people who have been through what you have gone through, and who have gone through what you are going through, and then like talk to them about it, man. Whether that's like these groups you can meet up with, or talking to a psychiatrist, or even finding a family member who's doing well. Find somebody who is doing well. That's another thing. If you do talk to somebody about the problem that you're going through, make sure it's somebody who has survived that problem and aren't still currently going through it. Find somebody who's overcome that problem, or who they're not coping with it, they're not still dealing with it, but they're doing better with in life, you know, like they've kind of gotten past that problem, and now they're just like, you know, they're thriving. Find people like that, you know, if you're gonna find someone to talk to or confide in, you know. But yeah, that's all the time I have for the video today. This one's a little bit longer than my usual videos. Like I said, I've been trying to keep these videos down to at least 10 minutes, or maybe 8 minutes or whatever. But if you guys stuck to the end, man, and like have learned some stuff and absorbed some kind of like advice or whatever from the video, I appreciate it. I hope your day has been brightened by this video, and I hope it's really helping you guys to, like, you know, get past whatever you're going through, man. Because like I said, man, these problems that we have, bro, they're all in our head. But if we don't address them and we don't deal with them, eventually they will drive us crazy. So don't keep it to yourself. Seek help, seek advice from people, from, you know, professionals, or from people who have actually overcame these problems. But whatever you do, do not share it with your coworkers. Do not share it with all of your friends. Do not share it with family members. Do not share it with, like, you know, people who like won't understand or won't, like, you know, be receptive to whatever your problem is. Share it with professionals. Share it with people who have gone through it and are actually doing better now. Share it with a therapist. Share it in a journal, man. Or share it through art. You know, create stuff and find a way to like share it through art, like music or poetry or whatever, you know. But like, yeah, that's all the time I have for today. Thank y'all for watching. Peace and blessings. Have a prosperous day.